Hello, brilliant, beautiful Black women goddess born. Coming soon to Podia, your course on Black Women's Guide to Vetting for Healthy Relationships. Let's get into it, girl. This is for educational purposes. And Black women, I'm going to give you a taste of what I mean by listening to behaviors. Let's listen to this young Jedi quickly, and then I will be going over a few of the behavioral things that you will see going on, not just with him, but also with myself. All right, let's get into it.
All right, lady, I'm finna break down this method that some men use, and it's typically known as the 3-month rule. And before we get into it, I can speak on it because unfortunately, yes, I have done it. I know I was a shitty ass human being for doing it. It's super manipulative, but this shit is foolproof. This shit worked. And I'm taking full accountability for it. I don't live that life anymore. And if you can't change something, embrace it. So I'm gonna embrace it by giving y'all the game so y'all can peep up on it. So from the first time y'all make contact, this man is giving you, boom, 100%. He'll text you first and he's consistent with it. The compliments, endless. This man is in love with you. He think you're the most beautiful person on the planet. He's always available. You can random FaceTime him and he's always picking up the phone. He tells you when he's going somewhere. He might even give you his location. Oh, he might even send you some money on. And this isn't just 1, 2, 3. No, he's consistent with it. That's the key, is consistency. That's what women fall in love with, consistency. And he'll fight through the phases you trying to play hard to get. Maybe you got certain boundaries from past relationships. He gonna respect them all. He might not even try to fuck. And now you think you done got the one. You think you done got the love of your life. You so proud of yourself. Oh, I stood on business. I never settled and I finally got him. No, baby. Nah, this just a start. So now that he knows that he got you, boom, he dropping to 95%. But you don't notice because that 5%, it's not too much of a difference from what he was doing. And then boom, he drops it to 90%. And some women notice it, majority of women don't. Most of the time, the delusion that you got from him putting in 100% is still in there. So y'all not really finna peep. And then boom, he drops it to 80. And you notice this one, but you're not ready to say nothing yet. You assume that you just overthinking. You don't want to self-sabotage a good relationship that you don't found. So boom, now he drops it to 75. And you speak on this one. You reach out to him and you like, hey, what's going on? You seem a little distant. Is everything cool? You just seem a little off. This shit is so devious. Now the man's response would typically be, I'm just dealing with a lot. When I'm going through stuff, I just like to isolate. When my energy low, I just like to distance myself so it don't rub off on you. Okay, so boom, he knows you peep the shift, so he bumps it back up to 75. And you're grateful. You happy about this 5%. You like, oh, he's putting back in effort. I knew he cared about me. Whoop, 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 whoop. Just feeding the delusion. But oh boy, 5% is nothing. From 70 to 75, that's what, a couple FaceTime calls today. He gonna keep chopping. It's gonna keep getting lower. You probably at 65, 60, 55% by now. So you say something again, and get what he do? Bump it back up 5 more percent. And you still grateful because you communicated something and he changed. But it's 5%, shawty. That's nothing. And he just gonna keep chopping it. At this point, you at like 20%. But you so desperate to get back to that 100% that you thought were real. You like, please give me anything. And get what he do? He give you another 5%. And you still happy. Like, do y'all catch what's going on? The whole point of it is like this manipulative push and pull method. Like, give you a little bit, take a little bit more. But every time he's taking more and more away. He could give you, he could be at nothing, 0%, and you will be happy with that 5%. And I'm gonna give y'all an example just so I can peep how small 5% is. It's that random text you get. Hey, Shawty, just thinking about you. Hope your day going well. How your mama doing? It could be a random swipe up on the story. You know what I'm saying? Some hard eyes. Some, hey, you look gorgeous right here. Woot, woot, woot. Take this shit down. Woot, 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 woot. Like, the game has always been the game. And the only way to beat this is to believe him when he shows you who he is. A man that cares about you, he's not going a day without talking to you. There's no way that he's finna cut communication because he going through something. He gonna want you a part of that. But y'all know the drill, man. Like, comment, follow. Tell me what else y'all want to know. Break down this method that some men use, and it's typically known as the 3-month rule.
Hello, brilliant, beautiful Black women goddess born. Please do me a favor, go back and watch this um, whole video by this young Jedi. Okay. What we're going to do is something a little bit different. So, yes, I want you to watch the video, but I also want you to take notes. I also want you to watch. I think it's best if you watch the video that I just duetted of him, right? So it's the video prior to this one. But please go to his page and look for yourself. Okay, let's get into a bit about behaviors, okay, and listening to behaviors, okay. He's peeping game. Uh-huh. Me too. Okay, so I don't know if I ever said this. I'm sure I did somewhere, but anyway, I was taught how to listen to behaviors, how to look at people's facial expressions, how to get a baseline, the things that you say to get a baseline from someone, and then how to listen to their behaviors by different methodologies. And we can talk about that later. But as far as this dude is concerned, he's telling women that, look, um, he didn't want to be the one to say this, but and he's been like this himself from before, but he's trying to help you, okay? And I need you to look at a few things that you may never been taught or thought of before, okay? Trigger warning. I've been thinking. Okay. So, I watched several videos because I practice listening to behaviors, okay? And one thing that we don't understand is how our brains work and how our facial expressions, our behaviors, and things like that match. We just don't know how to detect it. Okay, because no one teaches you that. They teach you to listen to what someone says and believe them. Okay, so one of the things that happens when you're talking about something that you actually believe in is you will be nodding your head to what you're saying because you believe it yourself. You don't even notice that you're nodding your head while you say whatever it is. But in your mind, you believe it. And generally, what happens is your behaviors and choices and actions, things like that, follow your beliefs. Okay. So that's one thing. The second thing is when you actually don't believe what you're saying, you actually shake your head. Now, it's hard to tell with me because I've practiced this for a decade and a half. So it's very difficult to tell, does she know? Is she doing this or doing that? But when you look at the video of me side by side with him, I want you to watch my face as well because this is exactly what I want you to practice as well. Okay. So the other thing that people do is they will shrug when they really don't care about something. We tend to tip our heads to the right, and it gives to other people's brains that we're cute and believable. When we tip our heads to the left, it's generally giving to the other person's brain that we're thinking and we're intellectual. Okay? If you watch me, you will see me do this quite often, especially when I do it on the left side of my face and I tip my face this way. What I'm My fingers being up and being pointed upwards with just two or one finger is an indication that I'm telling you I'm highly intelligent. Okay. And we don't know that these are automatic. to us because no one teaches us these things. Okay. Often when people are um, nervous about something or whatever, they will play with their face, or they will, they'll do this. They'll hide their lips when they say something. They'll um, press their lips together. And there's a whole other thing with eye movements. I can't even get into that. We don't have enough time for today. Okay. And when you're listening to him, one of the first things that he starts talking about is um, he says he can speak on this, on what, on telling you what players do from the player's point of view, like my father used to do, teaching me pimping from the pimp's point of view, um, a master class. Um, when he says that, he's nodding. Watch his head, because he believes that, and he needs you to believe it. Okay. And then he says, I don't live that life anymore. But he's shaking his head from side to side. He doesn't believe that. But he doesn't understand maybe his behaviors and his actions, and how they're reading, if you know how to listen to and read behaviors, facial expressions, and positions of people's heads when they're talking. Okay. Then he'll go on, and he'll say, basically, I'm of value. He's telling you he's of value to women because he's giving you the game. And you'll see he's nodding because he believes that. He believes that he knows the game that you don't know. Okay. So he's of value to you. And though he's supposedly a reformed player, he's no longer one. Hmm? I used to be one, but I don't do that anymore. Hmm. If you used to be one, and you don't do it anymore, you go, I used to be one and I don't do it anymore. Because then he he gets into the story, and when you watch his face, and you watch how he tilts his head one way or the other, or he's talking to you, and how expressive he gets when he's telling the story, it's not he's just conveying information to you. He's not trying to convince you of anything, other than he's already laid it out that he's of value to you women because he knows the game, you don't, and he's here to help you. Hmm? Okay. So he goes on to say things like the man will be consistent with it, and then he'll even say he loves you, he'll put up this and that and whatever, and basically um um you know don't believe it. But he shakes his head when he says it, because he doesn't believe it because it isn't true, right? And and that's how, in that little part right there, what he's saying actually matches up with what he believes. Now, again, this has taken me years of work and training and things like that. It won't take you that long. Okay. We're going to get into it. However, I want you to pay attention to what you're seeing as he's talking. Remember the head nods, remember the shaking of the head, shrugging of the shoulders, and those types of things. That's all for now.